Today, we're riding on a hidden gem of the Swedish railway network, a lesser-known, unusual train service from Stockholm to Gothenburg. Instead of the busy, high-speed services that most people take, we're riding on a much older train. On board, we'll explore vintage 1960s-era passenger cars, including the luxurious A2 first-class coach, whose wide plush seats and wood-paneled interiors transport you back half a century. Step on board for an adventure on TåGAB, one of Sweden's best-kept railway secrets. So let's take a look at the route we'll be on today, and what sets it apart from other transport options between Stockholm and Gothenburg. Most travelers between these two major Swedish cities will take SJ's X2000 service, or similar offerings from competing railway companies such as ⁴. These are fast, direct, modern trains that only make a few stops. Our train, however, is taking a very different path. We'll be riding on ⁴ ⁷ often just referred to as TÅGAB. TåGAB was started by a former employee of Sweden's National Railway in 1994, and for many years provided only freight service before diversifying into passenger service in 2009. Most of their routes are fairly short, but their showcase route is their Stockholm to Gothenburg service, which curves northward through their main service area centered around Karlstad before turning sharply south towards Gothenburg. It's longer, slower, and far more circuitous, but that's exactly what makes this journey worth it. Along the way, we'll be riding in TåGAB's extremely comfortable vintage passenger cars. Our train is scheduled to leave Stockholm at 1:41 p.m. and arrive in Gothenburg at 7:25 p.m. for a trip of 5 hours and 44 minutes. TåGAB doesn't have its own booking engine, but tickets can be purchased through other websites that sell Swedish railway tickets. TåGAB does publish schedules for all of its trains, so it's quite easy to look up your preferred service and then use sj.se or another operator's site to purchase tickets. Filtering your search to other train operators makes it even simpler to find these services. Now, with our tickets purchased, let's go down to the station and hop aboard. It's a crisp spring afternoon in Stockholm, and here at Central Station, we're about to board one of Sweden's most unusual long-distance trains. TåGAB's train begins entering the station, led by a classic Swedish RC3 locomotive. Behind the locomotive are the classic 1960s-era Swedish passenger cars. The first two of these are Type B1, second-class coaches with open saloon seating. Next up is a BS5 car, a second-class combination cafe, compartment, and open saloon coach. Following this is an AB3 car, an interesting coach with a mix of second-class saloon seating, a communal seating area, and first-class compartments. And finally, at the rear of the train, and the car that we'll be riding on, is the iconic A2. This has a mix of open saloon and compartment seating, and we are quite literally riding on a museum piece, as this specific car was purchased as surplus from the Swedish Railway Museum. As we get ready to hop aboard, it's hard to miss the modern X2000 on the next track over, ready to whisk passengers across the country at high speeds. It's hard to understate just how different this ride will be. We're truly going back in time here. Anyways, we've talked up TåGAB's operation quite enough. Let's hop on board. Inside the A2 first-class car, we find true luxury. Plush, wide armchairs in a 2x1 configuration, wood-paneled interiors, curtains, and carpeted floors. The car is quiet, spacious, and very relaxing. A complete contrast to the X2000, where technology and speed dominate the experience. These cars were refurbished in the late 1980s. The main upgrades included modernized restrooms, which now use retention tanks instead of direct dump toilets, and the addition of power outlets. Otherwise, the original fittings and paneling remain, so the 1960s design is fully intact. We'll be sitting in the open saloon area, but the compartment seating offers privacy for families or groups, a cozy classic experience. The next car is the AB3. Here on one end are additional first-class compartments, with seating upholstered in a slightly different color. Most notably, after the compartments is this really funky communal seating area. This is a classic Scandinavian railroad coach layout, which you can find on a few other services, including on the services up to Narvik, which we've shown in another video. At the other end of the AB3 car is second-class open saloon seating. This section of the train is much more crowded, but it still seemed perfectly comfortable. The BS5 second-class coach is next, another bright and spacious coach with a cafe area that will open a bit later in the trip. This is followed by some cozy second-class compartments and an open saloon area. And last up are the B1 coaches. The train is fairly quiet at this end, so we could take a closer look at the second-class seating in these saloon coaches. There's a ton of legroom, and to be honest with you guys, this seems quite comfortable for a multi-hour trip. We may have splurged on first class, but second class seems more than enough. Anyways, back in our first class coach, the doors have been closed, and we slowly ease out of Stockholm Central. It's a really comfortable and quiet ride, and just check out how far this seat reclines. Absolutely perfect for a nearly 6-hour journey through the Swedish countryside. The first major station is Katrineholm, still along the same main line that the regular Stockholm to Gothenburg services use. But soon after, we curve northward and divert away, stopping in Kristinehamn before reaching Karlstad, one of the major stops along this route, and about midway through the journey. Now that we've progressed far along the route, let's check out the offerings at the cafe. Here in this retro serving area, they have a decent selection of soft drinks, coffee, tea, pastries, and simple meat and cheese sandwiches. We already ate earlier in the day, so we just got a cup of tea, but the selection seemed quite good to us. Our first class car is now completely empty. Everybody else got off midway along the line, so we'll settle in for the rest of the journey. The train eventually curves southwest, and for much of the journey, we parallel Lake Vänern, the largest lake in the European Union. Continuing south, we glide into Trollhättan, one of the last major stops before arriving in Gothenburg. We take this moment to soak up the experience one last time. Not long after, with the sun beginning to set, we smoothly glide into Gothenburg Central Station. Having arrived safely in Gothenburg, we climb off of the train. Even though this was an almost 6-hour-long journey, it didn't feel long at all. TÅGAB's trains are exceptionally comfortable, particularly in first class, and their staff is very professional. For enthusiasts, TÅGAB is a treasure, an active museum of rolling stock in daily operation. But it's also highly recommendable for regular riders. There's something to be said for a slightly longer, but far more comfortable, less crowded, and more scenic journey. And with one last look at the train's iconic RC3 engine, we leave the station and hop onto one of Gothenburg's iconic trams. We've noticed that not a lot of people are aware of TÅGAB, so if you've ridden it before, we'd love you to share your thoughts in the comments. And if you haven't, we truly hope that this video encouraged you to check it out in the future. We're always looking for interesting and unusual railways to explore, so if there's a route you think we should cover next, or a hidden gem like TÅGAB that you've already experienced yourself, we would love to hear your input. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Your support means the world to us. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.